Welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I am Stacey Earlywine, and we are wrapping up the Christmas holiday
We
shows.
are wrapping up. I like the pun. You got all your presents wrapped?
You know what? My sisters and we went shopping, and I wrapped last night. And I always start. That's one thing I am envious about to people, is because there are some people that when they wrap a present,
they really make it look like it's beautiful and from a nice store. And
mine's
perfect.
Mine's not even close. It's awful. I don't do bows. Shoot, I don't even buy the tags anymore. I just take the black magic marker.
That's what I do. Black Sharpie on the bottom. Malia, Carissa, Silas.
That's exactly what I do.
Because the thing is, the bows, they fall off all the time. Once you stack presents on top of each other under the tree, they all get smushed. So I buy like 3 bows a year. And I know there's like certain people on my gift giving list that like a pretty package.
Are there?
And I put a bow on theirs. I put ribbon and bow, make theirs look pretty. Because I can wrap a present nicely if I want to. Do I want to? No.
No, me either.
But so I do it for like 3 special people. So realize this Christmas, if there's a bow on your package or a ribbon, that you are incredibly special. Everybody else, no bow, no nothing, black magic marker.
I like that for everybody. But there are some people that like. I'm every year. I wonder how many guys out there like this too. Every year, so I change the way I decorate my Christmas tree. Sometimes it's all gold and white. Sometimes it's red one. Every year I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get wrapping paper that matches my tree.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I got a hound from every town underneath that tree. Whoa, and I'm like one of those type people. If I have a present and I'm wrapping it and I've got a strip, I'll just cut a tape. I'm the worst wrapper.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'm the most horrendous wrapper. It almost embarrasses Jim because Jim is that guy. He's like, oh, wait a minute. If I cut, the Grinch in half, he's got to meet.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's that freak.
He's that kind of person.
He's that kind of guy. It's like, it's not right.
Silas wanted to learn how to wrap presents this year. He's my 12-year-old son. He's like, Mom, teach me to wrap. And I was like, okay. Started singing.
He started rapping.
He's like, oh, Mom.
I would love to see the look on his face when you did that.
Yeah, it was a big eye roll.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't impressed.
That's funny. I didn't even I don't know what happened to me this year. I don't know if it's just craziness or what, but I left because I love a pencil tree.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
And I left my last year for the children's Christmas play, we had the stage decorated with a ton of trees, didn't we? Because it was North Pole. That's right. Told Jim I had him up in the attic above our garage, and I'm like, where is I want my pencil tree. And he's like, Stacey, it's not here. I'm like, I just cannot figure out where my pencil tree is, because that phlox tree that we use for this year's show is my tree, which usually is in my sunroom. But they're kind of messy. It's beautiful, but they're messy.
Yeah.
And I wanted that pencil tree because I usually put 3 or 4 trees up. So I got a cheap one and just stuck in the sunroom this year, which I don't like it as well. And then I've got my big tree in the back family room, but I love that pencil tree because I love it to be right at the base of my staircase. I just did not do Christmas this year like you usually do.
Well, that's
Wonder what happened to me.
I don't know. You've been kind of busy. I mean, life. Yeah, life happens.
Well, my friend Paula's daughter got married, so that wiped out a weekend.
Right. You're working 2 jobs.
You're working 2 jobs.
Yeah, that'll also take up a lot of time. Directed a children's play.
Yeah. Started an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been a little busy, folks. She's been a little busy. So
have
I.
That's why.
I feel like I'm burning the candle at both ends just to get everything on my list done.
I know. It's kind of crazy.
I stayed up until like midnight last night stitching on a quilt I'm trying to finish.
Well, and that's the difference between she and I. You make yours, which is, that would make me a nervous wreck. Yeah. Speaking of quilts, what's happening behind us? I like this one.
Today's Christmas quilt is actually a vintage Christmas quilt that I picked up at an auction, and it was unquilted.
I like it.
It was simply the quilt top, but it has been quilted. I don't think I was the one that quilted that, but I don't really remember who I had quilted. But it's kind of a weird pattern. It's like Christmas trees, but they're going like the top of the quilt, the Christmas trees are going down, and the bottom of the quilt, the trees are going up, so they're like, they meet in the middle, kind of like arrows.
It's very different. It's almost kind of like a Native American type.
I think it's like from the 1920s is what it's been dated. The fabric has been dated to the 1920s, so it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It
pretty.
looks good on camera. Up close,
does
it's a little
look-
bit more flawed, but
Yeah, it does. It looks good. Yeah, yeah, it is
so
funny
that
how-
is an actual antique quilt, vintage
Yeah, I
quilt.
wish you guys could see like the white part of it's really pretty too.
Yeah.
That's really pretty.
Thank you. So I can't take credit for that one. I didn't make it, nor did I quilt it.
Wow. So how many quilts did you do this year for gifts?
7, I think.
7? Mm-hmm. How long does it take to do 7 quilts?
I started at the end of October.
Really?
That's
Wow.
why I told you I've been burning the candle at both ends. I'm tired.
I would think something like Mary Lou Wheeler is a quilter. You know Mary Lou?
I think I do. Yes.
Yeah, Mary Lou, she's a quilter, and she's always making quilts, and she had a baby boom, a great grandchild baby boom, I think, and so
That probably kept her busy.
yeah, it kept her really busy and everything. So yeah, pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a quilter, you know that. But,
Yes.
yeah, I'm like, oh, and so I'm sitting there, and I decorate my mantles. I love my fireplace.
Yeah, you have a beautiful fireplace.
And my dad built that fireplace years ago. It's kind of a funny story. My dad was a bricklayer, and one of the very first things we did was I always wanted a fireplace. I grew up with a fireplace in the house. But I'm that weird person that I want mantles, and then I also want, like, a place to put a picture. So my dad comes in there and I'm like, here's got the fire. I said, he's like, so are you going to go with one mantle, or are you going to? I said, I want 2 mantles, and I want them split. I want them on either side, and then I want something in the middle, so I can put a picture. Oh, Stacey, you can't do that. I'm like, Dad, no, I see it. I visualize. I got a good visual.
And that's how it turned out.
And I did, and he's like, I just don't think. And then the actual mantles I got from a guy over Kent. It'll come to me in a minute. And he was tearing down a barn. They're just big barn beams.
Oh,
Is what those mantles are.
Cool.
So I just went over there and got those. But anyway, and we finally put that. And so Dad got it done, and he put the 2 mantles up there, and I had to decorate it. He's like, well, that's probably the prettiest fireplace I've ever done in my entire life.
Well,
he's been laying bricks since he was 15 years old.
There you
I
go.
said, see, you should have been bringing me. But what I was thinking, so I decorate them. They match. Both sides match. And then I have this thing that I use in the front. The picture is gone. But I made years ago, you'd have been proud of me. Years ago, I made this ginormous wreath. Beautiful. I love it. And I'm sitting there the other day, and I'm like, why does this not look
right.
right? And I'm like, the other night we were on a small group over, and I was like, my wreath. I didn't even put my ginormous wreath up.
You
I'm
forgot
not
a
even
step.
sure where my
Well, you did send a picture or put it on Facebook or something of your fireplace, which
Yeah.
was beautiful. But you didn't have anything Christmassy in the middle.
No,
You just had your regular picture, which is fine.
it was
looked
not
nice.
fine. No, I was
So
like,
it has since been changed.
no, I can't find my ginormous wreath.
It's probably at the theater. Yep, I think we
Wait
used
a minute,
it
we used it last year.
on the wall of the back wall of the theater.
You're absolutely right. We did. That's where it's at.
Send Jim.
When we leave
head
here
to the
today,
theater.
I am going to Nostalgia Theater, aka the Nostalgia Theater. You're right. That's where it's at. We did use it as that big backdrop.
You're welcome.
My Lanta.
Problem solved. Just call me Nancy Drew.
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
But anyway, so yeah, I'm like, okay, so I'll probably go find it, and that's right. That's exactly where it's at.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So like, I'm starting to take so many props to the theater.
Yep.
That now I don't even have stuff at home.
Yeah, you should just
But-
realize you have 2 buildings
I
that
have
your
2
things are in.
buildings that my things
if
are
you
in.
can't find it at home, it's at the theater.
Okay, so guys, so the ad I picked today is kind of, it's fun.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Okay.
But okay, let's throw up the old Lucky Strike ad.
Oh my goodness. Lucky's a light smoke.
That looks like that guy looks like Santa's been.
That guy looks like he's had a few drinks at the bar. He's
That's
having
definitely
fun.
the bad mall Santa.
Yeah.
Lucky Strikes, a light smoke of rich, bright body tobacco. It's toasted.
Oh,
See, I don't
it's
even
always
understand.
toasted.
I don't even understand. I don't even understand
Ty
smoking.
looked that up for us last time.
I
but
don't
no.
even understand.
It's a gift of pleasure. Oh, it's saying you should buy these for people on your gift.
Yes.
A gift of pleasure. I can't read it, the rest
My
of it.
spirit, the spirit of Christmas giving, is abroad is the land, a gift that expresses that spirit and brings pleasure to every home. Both great and small is rare indeed. Such a gift, my friends, is Lucky Strike.
I feel like that has a typo in it. I think the person that wrote it was also drinking.
Santa Claus. Well, yeah, because I would have thought
I think it should have said "as" in that second line.
Yeah, it is weird, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, it should be is abroad is the land, is abroad as the land. But how funny is that? Yeah, that Lucky Strike cigarette. But yeah, I wonder how many people did. Well, cigarettes are expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, they are kind of expensive.
Yeah,
But.
and some kid climb on his lap and he'd be like, "You're not Santa, you smell like," instead of beer and cheeses, be like, "You smell like Lucky Strike cigarettes."
Yeah, you're supposed to smell like peppermint and reindeer. You smell like cigarettes and booze. I just thought that of all the Santas we've shown this last month, I just thought that was the greatest. Yeah,
crack up.
Such a gift, my friend, is like, I just love that, like, it's going to
Wonder
bring
what year that
pleasure
is.
to every home.
Oh yeah, makes your house stink.
50s.
Oh, from the 1950s.
Yeah, 1950s. Okay. Yeah, I found it the other day. Yeah, but I just don't understand. Of rich, right body tobacco. It's toasted.
Oh,
I think Santa's toasted.
Yeah, I think Santa is toasted.
But I don't know. I just thought maybe you guys would find that kind of funny.
That is.
I don't know. I was just flipping through ads. I've gone through a lot of my magazine's ads, and it's funny. Like you can just type certain years and find these ads. I'm like, oh my gosh, and they're fun. And they're a little bit. Have you noticed that I'm getting better at sending pictures? My pictures.
I have noticed. There's no more blurriness.
Well, you had to teach me.
I did. Gave her a little tutorial on her phone with the photos, and it's fixed.
Because I'm not.
Because I'm a good teacher.
You're a good teacher, and I'm not a good student. It took me a while to figure it out. But anyway, we're going to come back from a commercial break, and we're going to talk about some letters from veterans.
We are.
We'll be right back.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we are talking about letters from veterans that they wrote home at Christmas time.
When did we did kind of a show like this?
I should say letters from soldiers because they weren't really veterans at the time. They were soldiers. They were serving overseas and they were lonely and sad and it was kind of emotional because they weren't home for Christmas.
Imagine.
Yeah.
I can't even. I mean, it's just hard for me. I remember. I can't imagine how those people did it. I mean, shoot. I mean, Jim used to travel all the time for work, but like if he was gone for more than 2 weeks, it's like, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
You know, especially like if you're newly married, you don't have kids. That then we had kids and he traveled, and it was like whatever. But
yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? I mean, I just can't even fathom what that's like.
Yeah.
But yes, we got some interesting.
We have
letters.
some good ones. Can I start? I have a really sweet one here.
You go ahead.
Okay, this one is from Master Sergeant J.L. Stanford. And it was actually ran, a lot of these that we have were ran in the papers over time, shared with the public. So we have printouts from what ran in the paper. He says, and I'm assuming this, I don't have a date on this one, but I'm assuming it is World War II. Dear Dad, have been expecting a letter from you, but none so far. Likewise, the folks at Centralia are adverse to writing. So, poor guy, he's not getting much mail, okay? Aww. I am getting acclimated to England and like it very well. The landscape and scenery near our bivouac, I'm not sure what that means, is beautiful, and the house is quaint. However, I doubt the comfort of living in them. I get out frequently and roam through the countryside and have made several acquaintances with the English. I can't always understand their brogue and expressions, but get along quite well, despite their traditional reserve. The kids are easy to get acquainted with, though, with a stick of gum. Candy and everything is scarce and rationed, and they get very little. American cigarettes are popular with the elders, as the English brand cost 50 cents a pack for a pack of 20 and are not so good. This is the part, this line right here. If everyone in the U.S. had to live here 60 days, they would return home better citizens.
You know what? That's
interesting. He's saying you take for granted how good we have it in the U.S.
That's right.
And he's only in England. It's not a third world country.
He's in jolly England. Old England, yeah.
I would sure like to have some ham and eggs right now, or even the fresh eggs without the ham. We get powdered eggs in the mess hall, which is practically ersatz, to say the least. However, the food is sustaining, and we are fortunate compared to other parts of Europe. Received letters from Eula. This part's so sweet. Received letters from Eula. You think, who's Eula? Is it his girlfriend or something?
Yeah.
She is one of the nicest persons I have ever known. Maybe I am prejudiced, her being my sister.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
When I hear from you, we'll write a long, regular letter with more detailed account of the life of a GI in England in wartime. Love to all, Lester. Oh, Lester. I love him. Yeah, and the thing about these letters is I don't really know the outcome of these soldiers.
I was just getting ready to say, we don't really have a clue.
Right. I didn't find any. The ones I did look into, I didn't find any death records of. So, from the war. So I'm assuming they lived long, happy lives and came home.
Yeah. Isn't that something?
Yes.
Huh.
Okay. You got one?
I do have one. This letter, once again, is from England. Letter from England to Mr. and Mrs. Steve Jennings. Okay. Dear Mother and Dad, again, I will attempt to write you a few lines to let you know I'm still kicking.
Okay. Good. Mom's like,
woo! Okay. Could you imagine?
I know. I don't even want to think about it.
I can't even go there.
Mm-hmm.
I received your letter on November 26th and was very sorry to hear Charlie has been sick. Certainly hope he is okay now. Hope Dad has his corn all picked by now. I guess you are having some very bad weather. I didn't get to meet Opal when I was on pass. Guess he didn't get... Yeah, that's kind of it. I didn't get to meet Opal when I was on pass. Period. Guess he didn't get my letter. Mail is very slow here, too. Takes about a week to get a letter from him. You would think Opal would be...
Yeah, but back then, Opal was sometimes a boy's name, too, I think.
I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and that the girls get to come home. Maybe we can all be there for the next one. Let's hope so. Has Rosie and Sandy baked me any more cakes?
Mail the cakes.
Mail the cakes, Mom. Tell them to get plenty of practice as I'll keep them busy when I do come home. Guess I'll have to close for now. Hope this finds you all well. Love, Bud.
Aww. That's so sweet.
It is sweet. I mean, I just can't hardly handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. From Mr. and Mrs. Steve from England once again.
Uh-huh.
So, Yeah, if it's World War II, how bad did England get tore up?
Not
It didn't get it.
really.
It didn't get tore up too bad, did
no,
it?
they.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It's just kind of sad.
Okay, I'll read the next
You
one.
go
I have
to another one.
and I'm telling you, this print is tiny. So
Yeah. And you have the good eyes.
I have the good eyes, but I do have my reading glasses on today because it's such a small print. Okay, this is from Sunday, January 30th, 1944, and it says, "Dear Mother and all, I will try and write a few more lines this afternoon. I am okay and hope this finds you all as well. There seems as if there isn't ever much to write about. I went to church this morning. I believe the chaplain preached the best sermon today that I have ever heard him preach. Our outfit has been very lax in attending such services, but somehow, Mother, there was a special calling this morning, and many of the fellows felt the need to attend church today. Fellows who had never been there before. It bears out your fact that God makes it known when more sincerity and more prayers are needed, and our faith to trust Him must always continue." One of our fellows found his brother over here today. That would be
a joy.
how cool, to run into your brother.
Oh my gosh,
I can't imagine sending one son, let alone two or
Did you
more.
ever see
Some
the
of
movie-
them sent many.
Did you ever see the movie Saving Private Ryan?
No, I didn't want to watch
Oh
it.
my goodness. Yeah, it'll make you, it's sad.
If you send me Ray Stanley's APO number and his serial number, I might be able to look him up. I thought I would remember his number, but I can't be sure now just what it is. I don't believe I ever told you that 15 of us were awarded the Good Conduct Medal just before we left the States. It doesn't mean a lot, but it shows their appreciation for what we have tried to do. I believe I asked you to send me the home paper once before, didn't I? Where's it at, Mom? Not a subscription, but just one occasionally. We are allowed only so many rations at the PX each week, 2 candy bars and 1 package of gum. When they have it, in a small package of cookies. I can get enough toothpaste, razor blades, and such, but I wouldn't have any objections to receiving a box of candy and cookies. If you should send some food, find out beforehand how it must be packed in the size box that can be best sent. My Christmas package finally caught up with me, and the candy is still good after almost 2 months of traveling. I just now received a letter that you wrote December 30th, so it looks like that V-mail is much the quickest. I had a nice long letter from Aunt Maud this week. I must close for now. Please answer soon. With love, Royal. His name was Royal.
I love the name Royal.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was so sweet about the church service and everything. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder, when they were over there in that, during war, I guess there were always chaplains and stuff around. They would have had regular services.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would be, really...
When you think of an army chaplain, who do you think of?
The guy off MASH.
Don't we all? Father McKay. Was it Father McKay?
Father McKay? What was his
like
name? Yeah. I don't know, but MASH was such a good show.
Oh, it was, except for that last episode. I never will watch it again.
I can't even remember how it ended.
It was there was one scene that haunts me, and I'm not even going to talk about it. It's so awful. I won't watch the last episode.
Well, now I'm going to go home and watch. It's in the last episode?
It's super sad.
It is?
Yes.
Who's the last one to leave? Who did that? What's his?
I don't remember who the last one.
Hawkeye
All I
and
remember
Pierce?
is this one terrible scene, and then I was just sick to my stomach, and I didn't want to watch it anymore.
Huh. I didn't realize that. No.
Yeah.
I loved MASH, but now I'm going to go home. I was thinking that I binged watched that.
MASH?
Yeah, but I don't remember
I'm
the
telling
last
you.
scene being sad, but now I'm going to go
Well,
and
you
watch
probably are not affected by emotions. It was sad. It was touching. There was
Yeah, like I said, you want to talk about a tearjerker. Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, see, I try to not. If something is sad, I don't.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't-
watch it.
yeah.
Like Christian movies, I'm a Christian. I rarely watch a Christian movie because every one of them is a tearjerker.
It is, yeah.
And I'm not into that. I have enough issues that I don't need to cry about somebody else's problems.
I'm one of those type people that's
no
like, when it comes to movies, it's like, okay, I want some, and I don't even care if I know the ending. It's like, does children die or the dog die?
Yeah, because I'm out.
If it has to, oh my gosh, yeah, that one about the sex trafficking that came out.
Yeah, nope, didn't watch it.
Right off the bat, it haunted me, and I'm like, I don't want to.
Yep, don't want to. Not
and
watching
it made me super paranoid, which I've always been paranoid. But Saving Private Ryan is.
I watch movies to relax and to escape. I don't want to escape into some dark world.
Yeah, Saving
or where
Private
some
Ryan is
horrible, sad thing happens.
Yeah.
I want funny. I want light. I want something that I don't really have to think about too much. Although if it's like a mental thriller or something where it's like a mystery,
right?
Like I'm into mysteries. Like I would love to
mysteries.
try to solve the end. That's okay.
Right.
But nothing that's sad. Forget it.
Yeah, it's any of those war movies are.
Yep. Don't watch them.
I watch them all. I've watched every one of them. But yeah, every one of them is. I mean, it's war.
But I will watch MASH because it's really a comedy.
MASH is
except
funny.
for that last episode.
I can't believe the last episode was
very
so bad.
dramatic. It's very dramatic.
Oh my goodness sakes! I may have to.
Yeah,
I may have to figure that one out. But we're going to take another commercial break, and we'll be right back with more letters.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank.
We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online banking, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be.
Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It's the weekend and your symptoms are worsening. The morning of a big meeting and you have a bigger sore throat. Ever experienced that urgency after picking up your sick child and your community health center has already closed? You will be able to connect to a provider at crhpc.org. Even if you have never been to CRHPC, you are welcome to utilize our services. Feel better after scheduling a video visit with CRHPC.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County, Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I am Stacey Earlywine, and we are bringing you Christmas letters from
soldiers
that served and defended our country.
Yeah.
And they're very interesting.
They are.
And, it really makes you think, you know, it's like there's like a meme going around on Facebook right now. It's like whenever you're, with your family and friends, and just remember there are people out there that don't have those people anymore. And,
sure.
And my family's been hit hard. We've lost 3 in the last 2 years. One very unexpected, but so it's a joy. I think Christmas is one of those holidays that we love, and it's joyous, but at the same time can be heart wrenching too.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to read a letter from S. Sergeant Donald Kimmerer.
Okay.
Dearest Mother and Dad, received your letter dated December 27th. Sure tickled to get it. I didn't get the pistol, but that's all right, for I won't need it anyway. No, I doubt very much if I see Bud Ostrich out here. Ha!
I bet the mother had asked him to, hey, look for Bud over there. He's over there with you.
I bet, because he's just like, ha.
Thousands of soldiers.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, they
They're
got
all
me
dressed
up,
alike.
right? Right? Yeah, that's right. Most of my letters came back, so I'll have to say less about the less important things. The scenery here is beautiful, and the coastline here is all covered with palms, which makes it more so. I have a nice tan, and it is really warm. If we ever get settled and have much time, which I'm sure we will, I want to do some fishing and swimming. A beautiful place for both. I haven't seen or done anything yet, but they says the boys can't fool around with fishing lines. They see a school of fish and toss a hand grenade at them, then swim in and get them. Ha!
That's a good way to fish.
I love his little
yeah
laugh at the end. I'm liking Donnie Kimmerer.
Mm-hmm.
Some even use machine guns, rifles, or anything. That's right down my alley. There is no use for you to worry about me here, so don't do it. I'll try and have more next time. Bye for now. Lots of love, Donnie.
Oh, was that from Vietnam or World War II?
I would say that's Vietnam.
Yeah, see, a lot of the
World
ones
War
we have,
II,
we don't have dates on a lot of them.
No, I would go more. That would probably be. I would say, yeah.
Well, some of our readers may know Donnie. They may know.
Yeah, they may know Donnie
exactly who we're talking
Kimmerer.
about.
But I think that's hysterious. Going fishing, but with hand grenades, machine guns.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, what are you going to eat after you blow it up?
Yeah, did they have machine guns at World War II? I don't think so.
No, so I bet that's Vietnam. Yeah. And that Donnie Kimmerer sounds like
that's kind. I think it's a Louisville last name.
I think it is a Louisville last name. But yeah, that's funny. Yeah, Mom's like, hey, if you see Bud,
tell him hi.
Ostrich, Osthrich. Ostrich?
Ostrich?
I don't know. But that's hysterical. Ha! Don't worry about me here, Mom.
Yeah.
So apparently he was like in a tropical.
Yeah, he was.
So I would say that would be Vietnam.
I bet so. And I bet he was playing it down a little bit for his mom.
Oh, you would have. Well, my gosh, you'd have to, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm that mother that I'd probably be on the plane going over.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh,
okay.
What do you got for me?
I got a letter from Harland Holiday in Australia. Somewhere in Australia, dated December 31st, 1943.
Okay.
He's writing to Nell. Dear Nell, I have received 3 of your letters since I have been here, but I guess I have been too lazy to write back. I really enjoy reading your letters. I can't tell you much about the trip because everything is censored about the trip. I really enjoyed the trip, and it proved very interesting. The first 2 days after we left the States, I was really seasick. Most of the boys had their heads leaning over the rail most of the time, but I was less fortunate and had a headache and a stomach ache. We were rather crowded, and the food wasn't as good as we expected. We had a post exchange on the ship in which we could buy Cokes, candy, cigarettes, and cookies. Sometimes we had a movie at night. It is summer here now, and Australia is very beautiful in summer. Their homes are almost like ours, but around every yard there is a picket fence. Their cities are very beautiful and don't have the slum districts as the American cities have. The people make about $16 a week. This is considered good wages, but it doesn't cost them nearly as much to live as it does the American people. The Australians are putting forth all their effort to get this war over. Every man, woman, and the older children work at some kind of war job. Their slogan is fight, work, or die, and that is what the Australians believe in. And then this letter is actually cut off, and I can't read it. I can't read his ending, but I think it says, I will write soon. Love, Harland. So not sure who Nell is, if it was a sister or a friend or could be a wife.
Girlfriend, wife.
I don't know, but he's trying to fill her in on what trip he took from when he left the States to then, I guess. So Australia.
Well, my next one is somewhere in India.
Oh, they were everywhere.
1944.
Okay. I knew that they were all over. I mean, that is why it was called a world war.
Right.
I mean, there were different theaters. There was the South Pacific, somewhere in the South Pacific, and that's probably, why India had some soldiers there and then others in Europe.
Yeah, it's crazy. Letter from Sergeant Thomas C. Williams to his parents, somewhere in India, January 14th, 1944. It's a short one, too. Have arrived safely and am stationed somewhere in India. Maybe you think I wasn't happy when I read all your letters up to number 5 yesterday. My spirit is high, my health is the best. Had a wonderful trip over. Will write later. Lots of love, Thomas. Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. But yeah, India. Somewhere in India. He doesn't even really know where he's at.
Well, I don't think they were allowed to say. That's why that other one said somewhere in Australia.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, that makes
and these
sense.
letters were censored, so somebody read them and would black out what they didn't want the family to know.
Really?
Yeah, that's why they keep talking about censorship, and that's why they can't say anything about what they're actually doing.
Yeah.
Because it would all get blacked out, so that when the person received it, they couldn't read all that part.
How that's interesting.
It's security.
Security, yeah.
These
Well,
days,
yeah.
our country doesn't follow anything about security, and it's probably all over Facebook. Like, hey, he's stationed in blah, blah, India, and everyone's sharing. My goodness, the other day there was a post where there was a big train full of tanks and armored trucks that were being moved, like, by train out west. They were moving them out west. I don't know why the Army did this, but probably they have to move things around occasionally. But there was, I saw 2 different videos of people filming and then posted on social media. What's our government up to? They're moving all this equipment, all these tanks, all these, and I'm like, don't post that. What if we are getting ready to face some kind of conflict and you just told the enemy exactly where all of our stuff is?
Yeah.
Don't film that stuff.
See,
what is wrong with people?
And that's one of those things where they should have been probably cuffed and stuffed.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, if you're going to be exposing, seriously.
Yeah, there's some things you just don't say.
Well, it's just that drives me crazy too with social media today. It's such a good thing, but I think social media is more wrong than it does anything good.
Yeah, there's a few positives, but only a few. There's more negatives.
There's more negatives because it's just like these people that come up on an accident and are posting, oh my gosh, anybody know this person that drives this car? And then you're like, oh, wait a minute,
Yeah.
posting
Don't
it
want to
before-
find out like that.
Oh, my Lanta. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, this one I have is a letter from England received by Mrs. Zella Gumble.
Zella.
I love that. My grandmother's name is Zelda, and I love that name. And this is Zella.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that name.
Ella with a Z on the beginning.
Like it.
February the 5th, 1944. My dear mother, 16 months ago today, I put my kivvies, what do they call those? It's like underwear. What are those? Kivvies in mothballs to don the ODs and get in the GI parade. This guy's he's like a comic. His mother's probably grinning, which has landed me here in England for the past few months. Heretofore, I haven't written anything about my duties or the maneuvers and problems of our battalion due to the strict censorship of our mail. However, I will endeavor to comment lightly on the English people and their customs. First, the weather. From our geographical knowledge and teachings, we know the climate is rainy and foggy with an occasional sunshiny day sandwiched in between. Although most of the men and boys go about hatless, regardless of the weather, the older folks are always carrying umbrellas. Because of the year-round moisture, the fields and pastures are always green and nice, which accounts for the fat cattle and horses. So this is another letter that I only got a partial part of, but I wanted to include it because, I might have printed it on 2 separate sheets. Okay. In large cities, especially London, they have double-deck streetcars and buses. Inner-city buses are also double-deck. The underground train or tube in London is very speedy and operates most efficiently, and the escalators are as modern as the ones in our large department stores back home. Everywhere you look, bicycles, bicycles, bicycles. I've never seen so many before. Everyone from 6 to 90 rides one. We also see a goodly number of perambulators. Gotcha. Preambulator?
I don't even know what that is.
Folks will have to write in on that one. Perambulators. Perambulators. Ulators. That's how he spelled it. Not saying that's correct, but the traffic, of course, contrary to ours, is on the left. Public telephone booths and toilets are on the street or sidewalk. If one attends a movie or a cinema, they have to queue up in front near the walk, near the curbing, and the head usher says to his line, "Look sharp, step lively, 1 and 6, step lively, 1 and 6." And then they would march us into the theater. And then that is the end of that letter. So I didn't get his ending, but yeah, step lively. I like that phrase. I'm gonna start.
Lively.
Step lively.
We're learning so many.
Yeah, instead of saying move it, I'm going to be like, step lively.
Step lightly.
Lively.
Lively.
Yeah, step lively.
Step lively. Pick up the pace.
Yeah, come on.
How interesting. I like that. That guy was funny.
Yeah, he was funny.
Bicycles everywhere.
Bicycles.
From 1 to 99, from 6 to 60.
6 to 90.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, 1 to 99.
Right, yes.
Huh.
So,
I wonder if they still bring back in the day, they would bring in entertainers and stuff. Do they still do that today?
I think so. I think they do.
Do they? I've always wondered about that. You see, Bob Hope was always going in and entertaining soldiers and all that kind of stuff. Huh.
Yep.
That's very interesting.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's take another commercial break, and we will be right back. And let's do some more letters.
Okay. Sounds good.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Pegel's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Pegel Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
The insurance specialists have options to tailor to your needs at CSI Insurance Brokers. Experienced insurance brokers at CSI are skilled with all types of insurance plans and policies and represent many companies, including Safeco Insurance. You'll benefit from their detailed expertise, unbeatable premiums, and commitment to customer service. CSI Insurance Brokers and Safeco Insurance Company, providing affordable rates on quality insurance since 1952.
For over 50 years, at your locally owned and operated Roll King Supply in Salem and Olney, we've helped you and your neighbors enjoy an easy country lifestyle. We carry the most thorough sporting goods department around with a huge variety of hunting and fishing gear, camping equipment, and a variety of firearms for any need. Our team is here to help you find whatever you need. Open every day, it's Roll King in Salem and Olney, your locally owned farm and home store.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we're talking about letters from soldiers that they sent at Christmas time back to their families while they were serving overseas.
Yeah.
So we have a few more of those.
Yeah, we do. I'm kind of enjoying these letters. They're a lot of fun. Now, I don't have an ending to this one, but I'll read it down so far. Letter from England, somewhere in England, January 23rd, 1944, Sunday, 6 p.m. That's different.
Okay.
Time. Yeah.
Let's be exact.
Dear Mother, after sleeping all afternoon and having enjoyed a roast chicken dinner, I might be able to write a few letters. Went to a dance last night and arrived there at 10 p.m. and home by 3 a.m.
Oh, my.
Okay, partier. Had a lousy time.
Had a lousy time.
But was there for 5 hours.
Bless his heart. Okay. He's writing this at 6 p.m. He had a headache.
I'm loving this. Yeah, had a lousy time. It was a real stormy night with lots of rain and the strongest wind. Today has been very lovely until now, and it is storming again. The wind blew doors open and off. Water seeped in the buildings and all over some of the floors. In other words, what a night. The other night, and you would hate the way he's spelling right now.
That's probably why I gave you that one.
The other night, I saw my first real air raid. Of course, according to the paper, 8 fighter planes were shot down. They were miles away from us. I want you to send me 2 yards of Cretone. Do you know what that is? So I can cover my stand, of which is a box. If you can, send a box of Postum. And that's all I have on the letter. But I don't know what Cretone is.
Do you think he's asking for a tarp?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Ty can maybe Google that.
And Cretone, Cretone, Ty. And then Postum, P-O-S-T.
Do you think that's cereal? I don't know.
And then look up Postum.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's Cretone? Cretone.
Okay, while we wait for that, I'll start this other letter.
Oh, it's just a cotton fabric. And then look up Postum. I think Postum's going to be like cream of wheat or something.
Uh-huh.
Postum. P-O-S-T-U-M. Like a hot beverage. Ooh, a hot beverage. A coffee substitute.
Oh.
Boy, we're just learning so much today.
Did we do an ad on that one time?
Maybe we probably
kind of familiar.
did. Yeah, that word does sound a little bit. I think we did do it.
And we were like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
I might have to go back and watch an old episode and look for that.
I was going to say, watch an old episode. We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, interesting. Okay, lay it on me.
This is another one from Royal.
Oh, really?
Royal Irwin. Mm-hmm. Dear mother and all. We got our mail changed today. It is pretty complicated. The pound notes won't hardly fit in a regular size billfold at all. They look like cigar coupons or something. We are living in barracks. Naturally, we all hope to stay here until spring. I got seasick along with the rest of them. We said we couldn't imagine people paying to get to ride across that ocean. It is sure a miserable feeling. I seem to have a new address every time I write you. Their cars and trains are funny-looking things. And then that was the end of his letter, I think. Yep.
Cars and trains are funny-looking things.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I forgot to say the name of the funny soldier a while ago, the one that was a comic, and he talked about queuing up in front of the theater and all of the bicycles.
Yes.
That one was Corporal George Pixley.
Ooh, Pixley.
Mm-hmm. I didn't finish. I didn't say his name.
So
mine were kind of short there.
Yeah, they are short at the end, but yeah, they probably didn't. I mean,
I think they just only had a few minutes here and there,
I think so.
Plus there was so much censorship that they probably just left out a lot. Don't you think?
Well, yeah. If you're going to be censored,
what
on
else do I have to
what
say?
else are you going to say? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you find for us? Some extra stuff.
Well, I had this printed, but I left it at home, so I'm going to read it off my phone here in a minute. But I'm going to talk about the Christmas truce during World War I. Have you heard of that?
I don't know what this is.
Well, some people think it is a myth, but it isn't. So it is like where on Christmas Day of 1914 during World War I, they fought in the trenches, and the Germans were on one side and the Americans on the other. And for that day only, they stopped. They didn't shoot each other, and instead they talked to each other, and they even played football together in what they call no man's land, which is the area between the two trenches. So,
well, that would be scary to think that they weren't just. Okay, I'm not going to interrupt. I want to hear this.
Yeah,
I don't know
there's
anything
actually
about this.
letters and there's actually photographs of this, but some people still thought it was probably not true. But it was actually late on Christmas Eve, 1914. Men of the British Expeditionary Force, what they call the BEF, heard German troops in the trenches opposite them singing carols and patriotic songs and saw lanterns and small fir trees along their trenches. Messages began to be shouted between the trenches. The following day, British and German soldiers met in no man's land and exchanged gifts, took photographs, and some played impromptu games of football. They also buried casualties and repaired trenches and dugouts. After Boxing Day, meetings in no man's land dwindled out. So the truce, though, was not observed everywhere along the Western Front. So not the whole entire war. It's not like they all stopped, but it was just kind of sporadic. Elsewhere, the fighting continued and casualties did occur on Christmas Day. Some officers were unhappy with the truce and felt like it wasn't good for the soldiers and that they wouldn't want to come back and fight after the truce.
Well,
like that
that's kind of what I'm thinking.
That's Bobby. I just met him yesterday. He's so
Yeah.
nice. I don't want to shoot him, you know.
Oh,
so they
that
were,
would be. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So, in what is known as the live and let live system, in quiet sectors of the front line, brief pauses in the hostilities were sometimes tactfully agreed, allowing both sides to repair their trenches and gather their dead. So, it'd be like, you know, in Wayne's World, they're like, game on, game off, you know, okay. But this is an account of an interview with somebody that was there, I think. In 2016, this news website, or actually television station, was contacted by the family of one of the soldiers shown in the photograph. And we now know that this man was named Arno Bohm, a German soldier, and he's standing alongside British troops from the London Rifle Brigade. And they're standing together in the middle of no man's land during the Christmas truce of 1914. This photograph captures, and I wish I had it. Ty, you might be able to Google it, Christmas truce photo. This photo captures a moment so unusual in the First World War that many people at the time and to this day believed it to be a myth. In the midst of a brutal total war, how did this momentary peace come about, and what impact did it have in the course of World War I? And why did it never happen again? And then this man is doing the interview. His name was Marmaduke Walkington. And this is a quote from him, okay? We were in the front line. We were about 300 yards from the Germans. And we had, I think on Christmas Eve, we'd been singing carols and this and that and the other. And the Germans had been doing the same. And we'd been shouting to each other, sometimes rude remarks, more often just joking remarks. Eventually, a German said, "Tomorrow, you no shoot, we no shoot." And at the start of the war, many believed it would all be over by Christmas.
How you can put the picture up on the screen. Go ahead and put he's got a beautiful, okay.
Yep. Yeah, that's one of them. That's not the one featuring the man. There's a group. I have it here on my phone, but it's a group of them kind of posing.
Do they actually have a Christmas tree in that?
Yep. They got some kind of Christmas
keep
tree.
Reading. You can just leave that on the screen if you want.
That's fine. At the start of the war, many believed it would be over by Christmas. Okay, where was I? However, by December that year, it was obvious that this was not the case, and thousands of families and soldiers were facing a Christmas of separation, grief, and hardship. So then Anthony Richards, so for those soldiers who were in the trenches over the winter of 1914, the conditions would have gradually gotten worse and worse. You got a lot of rain, a lot of frost, and the general living conditions would have been terrible. But the British troops were not alone. In the trenches opposite there, sometimes only 30 yards away across the strip of what they call no man's land, were German soldiers in the exact same situation. There was lots of opportunity for each side to communicate with each other, and this was a regular thing that happened right from the start of trench warfare. But communication would often be in the form of soldiers from one side shouting over insults to those in the other trenches. But what was interesting at Christmas is that both sides actually started to communicate in more friendly terms. It really began with the Germans singing Christmas carols and setting Christmas trees into their what they call parapets. And so they came to much empathize with one another. Then there's this Mr. Rickner that they interviewed, and he says, "I remember very well Christmas. I remember the Christmas day when the German and the French soldiers left their trenches, went to the barbed wire between them with champagne and cigarettes in their hands, and had feelings of fraternization, and shouted they wanted to finish the war. And that lasted only 2 days, 1.5 really. And then strict order came that no fraternization was allowed, and we had to stay back in our trenches. The Christmas truce varied in different parts of the front line. Ceasefires were hastily arranged, sometimes to enable the collection and burial of bodies or to allow the trenches to be repaired. Okay, here's another soldier's quote about it. His name was Ernie Williams. He said, and we shared cigarettes and goodies with the Germans, and then from somewhere, somehow, this football appeared. And the guy interviewing him says, was it a proper football? And Ernie Williams says it was a proper football, but we didn't form a team. It wasn't a team game in any sense of the word. You know, it was a kickabout. Everybody was having a go. It came from their side. It wasn't from our side where the ball came. And the interviewer asked, you know, how many people took part in this? And he said, well, I think there'd be at least a couple hundred that did. Yeah, a couple hundred. So look at that picture. The interviewer asks him, did you kick the ball? And he says, oh, yes, I had a go at it. I was pretty good then at 19. So there they are at the ceasefire playing football.
Unreal.
But while some parts of the front line were playing football and swapping stories, others were confused by what they heard or felt no inclination to socialize with those they had so recently been fighting. Okay, so then here's another soldier. His name was Clifford Lane. After a few moments, there were lighted objects raised above the German parapets. I think that means trenches. I'm not sure. The Germans were shouting over to our trench. There's no doubt about that at all. And before we could take any action or do anything, we were ordered to open rapid fire, you see, which we did. The Germans did not reply to our rapid fire. They simply carried on with their celebrations and were having a fine time indeed. They certainly were not going to do it anymore. They thought we were idiots, I suppose, which we were. Not us, but the command, you see. So that particular guy, he was ordered to still, keep going. But anyway, that's a really
cool story.
Yeah.
I'd never heard that story before.
Yeah, I had heard it, but I didn't know if it was true or not. Yeah. It is. So I had a good source, and they had quotes from actual people that were there. So, yeah. So what do you got to end the show?
I have one here. It's from Jason Fried and David Hinnemeyer Hansen.
Okay.
What you do is what matters, not what you think or say or plan.
That's so true.
That is true, too, because
speak by actions.
Speak by actions. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of like I almost feel like that's almost a Christian, because it's like, walk the walk, talk the talk.
Right. Got to do both.
Yeah, what you do is what matters, not what you think or say or plan.
Yeah.
I like that one.
I like that one, too. Two guys, they both think alike.
Apparently. It's weird. I've never had...
It's a quote by two people.
It's a quote by two people. Yeah.
They think alike.
That's it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, this was a good show. A little sad, but still Christmassy and historic. And yeah. So I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, you can watch us on Wabash Catch TV 100 daily at 11 a.m. Monday through Friday. And we're also on YouTube. And our YouTube channel is By the Way with Beth and Stacey. And I think that's it for today.
That's it.
We'll see you next time.
God bless you and have a great day.